Oh yeah. We on their ass today, Noble. We on their ass today. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. We about to play it now. Stop them in their tracks. Y'all ready? Remember our prophet said he'd lead a European here long enough to teach you how to run a government? So I want y'all to watch something from no biasness. Let me see. Let me see. I don't know how it's better. Maybe I'll do it like this. And I want you to watch this from no biasness. Get your pencils and your papers. Let me see where it goes. And research this and see if anything is not factual. Let's go. Let me turn the volume up for y'all can hear. So nobody won't have no excuses of not hearing and not writing things down. When I say I'm a scholar, I give things to you for you to compare. So when brothers come to you with that program learning, you have something to compare to. And so we're going to give some history of consumer law and let's start comparing and see what's valid. So let's go.
Here we go. Okay. Greetings, everybody. This is Brendan and Jesse with Credit Repair Experts.
How's it going, everybody?
We wanted to hop on today because I was actually talking with Jesse on the phone this morning about how we have a lot of y'all asking us questions about, well, okay, you'll read stuff like 6802, 15 U.S. Code 6802, or maybe 1692 or something like that, and you see that there are some exceptions in there, like in 6802, for example, it says that a consumer reporting agency may furnish a consumer report. Yeah, it's like one of the exceptions, which is correct. But we want to dispel some myths on why exactly using this law is so effective and why those exceptions still don't apply to the consumer reporting agencies and the credit bureaus. And that's for this particular fact that you must remember when dealing with any financial institution. You are the original creditor. Why? Because every single...
And remember the point I'm making. Our prophet told us that the European and Albion, no disrespect, was going to show you how to build the government. I don't talk about arbitrary explaining the law. I talk about what everybody use, legal and lawfully. And then I show you all the gray areas in the law. And I show you how you can get yourself in trouble when people don't explain all the law. Well, yes, you have the right not to give something. But if they are private and if they are a bank or something, they have the right not to give you their services. Understand this. Let's go.
Obligation or every single extension of credit is originated from your social security number. I'm going to say it again. Every loan or credit extension comes from your social security number.
So
you hear the European?
If I could just jump in for a moment. Basically, if you think back, like as far as you possibly can, since you've been like an adult, you've been able to sign your own things. If you've ever gone out to get a loan, you've applied for a credit card. If you've ever tried to, get a car or a house or anything like that, the one thing that they all have in common is they ask for your social security number, even if you're just trying to open a bank account. And they're not doing that.
Ain't that a fact? Ain't that a truth? Or is that a falsehood? That's a truth. That's why when I tell people, when I deal with academia and when I do things, I'm not sharing things saying I'll agree. I'm sharing things to see if you're going to research and come with the law, to come with the universal law, to remove religious dogma so you can rest your case and it be no rebuttal. Understand what I be teaching, man.
They just need to run your credit. That's very, very surface level. So this kind of goes into what Brendan's talking about.
Yes, that's correct. It's not so much that they need to, like, if any of y'all are older watching this video, y'all know that on the Social Security card it used to say, not for identification purposes. So what's it for?
Fact. Now watch. Now, is that a fact or is that a falsehood? That's a fact. We gotta eliminate truth from falsehood. Listen, the Europeans gonna tell you how to defend yourself. If it ain't work, how they defending themselves with the law. Think about this, y'all, please. And be willing to learn instead of just dealing with goofballs trying to get you caught up in a chain like you a rapper or some shit.
Identification purposes, but everyone's making you give it to them for ID or to do a background check. A background check of what? Well, the only thing it could be is something involving accounting because it's an account, right? And apparently every time, you get your check, it goes into Social Security, a portion of it. Why? Because it's actually a contract trust account. It's actually set up as a trust account. Now that's a whole nother topic, but then you can prove that by looking at 15 U.S. Code 1602, which is what we're going to do right now.
Yeah, so y'all can't see our screen, but we're going to go ahead and just read this out to you. All this information you can verify by going to Cornell Law School's website.
Cornell Law School, not that bullshit, Wikipedia.
But here's the definition of what a credit card actually is.
So this is from 15 U.S. Code subsection 1602 item I. It says credit card. The term credit card means any card, plate, coupon book, or other credit device existing for the purpose of obtaining money, property, labor, or services on credit. Notice Congress said any card, okay? And so is it a fact that you must use your social to obtain a house, property? You must use your social to get water and electric, labor. You must use your social to get a cell phone, services. You must use your social to get a loan, money. It's a fact. Now
let me stop right there. Now let me do correcting. You don't need a social security to get a cell phone. I know this for a fact. You don't need a social security, your own personal security to get power and things. I know that for a fact because they're talking about personal and not private businesses like other companies and say churches and principalities and organizations. They have everything in their organization name, not their personal name. Understand that strategy. Come on, man. Y'all got to know what I'll be saying. I'll be teaching law. Control everything, own nothing. They're not going there. They're just giving you some law codes, but I'm giving you all of it because I'm building on top of what they're telling you.
And your Social Security card is, guess what? A card.
It's a card. Social Security card, not for identification purposes. What is it for then? It must be for some sort of crediting purpose, some sort of creditor purpose. So the reason why we're emphasizing this information is because when you're dealing with the credit bureaus and you're dealing with debt collectors, they're taking your credit and then acting like it's their credit and then saying that you owe them.
Are you listening?
Whether it be a bank, whether it be a mortgage company, a title company, whether it be a car lot, whether it be a credit card company, even if it's an electric company, or even if it's medical.
So what that mean in law and consumer? What do that mean? Do anybody on here know what that mean? The two people? Do you know what that mean? Do anybody know what that means? Because in law, you got to know the law so you can't be fraudulently concealed by nobody. Anybody get up there and act like they don't know the law because you're supposed to come in knowing the law. You're supposed to tell them the law and they look up the law and be like, boom, matter of factual. Boom, you prove your case. But if you go in there not knowing the law and going there unsure, you're done. Everybody agree with what I'm saying? I know they are. Let's proceed.
Okay, you need your social for medical. And so they're turning around and lying and saying that they created the loan, but really you created the loan and they did the paperwork for you. They took your social and used it and put a lien against it, and then took that lien, which is evidence of interest in property, and sold it on the stock market. Okay, you can actually find that out in Modern Money Mechanics, written by the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. And it says that banks create money through their lending activities.
Yeah, and it doesn't get any more official than the Federal Reserve.
No, and which is connected to all banks across the country. So, knowing that information, you can call out the credit bureaus and the debt collectors. You can tell the credit bureau straight up, look, this person right here is using my identity and saying that I owe them. Okay, I need you to send me the paperwork that they gave you validating that that's correct. Okay, this is where the validation idea comes in. But they got you thinking that they're the original creditors. This is why the validation letter idea doesn't work very well.
Right, and it's also why whenever you're reading a lot of these laws, it does appear that they're justified in their actions. If you go in to look at, like, say, 15 U.S. Code 1692, where it talks about exceptions, it'll tell you under the exceptions part, that they do.
Now let me stop.
To be able
let me stop. I gotta narrate. When he talk about exceptions, he's talking about restrictions in law. When I talk about federal and state and local things, understanding that. See how they gotta to say but. When I tell people, you gotta tell people all the law. Just don't tell a person one thing and get them excited and go run to court and get their ass handed to them. Listen.
Information as long as it is in regards to your credit report. But that's assuming that they're the creditor.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's false information that doesn't even belong on your credit report because you're the original creditor. So that's a big concept that has to be understood. And once you understand that concept, that's how you know what they're doing is just straight up fraud.
And that's actually really what separates us from a lot of the other credit repair companies out there, because they want to try to argue the validity of the contracts, essentially. And they're wanting to make sure, like, oh, is the date correct? Is the charges correct? Are the addresses correct? And really, all that stuff is completely null and void whenever you understand that you're the original creditor. So that's how we're going to take the approach whenever you work with us. So knowing that moving forward, it places you in the position of power, and you won't have to do all that back and forth with the credit bureaus or debt collectors.
Absolutely. It looks like we got a question by Travis, who says, who is the book by? So the book I was referring to is called Modern Money Mechanics, and it was written by the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. It's not a book, it's a publication, but Federal Reserve Bank of New York wrote it.
Yeah, not any one individual.
Yeah, not any one individual is taking credit for that publication. There are multiple publications that I can provide for you. I'll be posting stuff on my page about it, but I have many publications of banks straight up just telling you that they can't loan people money that deposit. Oh, whoops, wrong one. This one does. They can't actually loan money from depositors, meaning if you put $1,000 in your bank account, they cannot take that $1,000 and loan it out to another individual. So where are they getting the money? Well, they are actually creating it. And so the credit card companies are taking your credit, they're taking your social security number, and then they're charging you a financing charge to do the paperwork equal to the amount of credit that was extended. That's how they're getting you. So they're never going to admit that either. If you try to get them to admit it, they're just going to dodge the question. So instead of getting them to admit it, you just get them to show you the paperwork. And since they're not going to do that, they're not going to admit that what they're doing is fraudulent, they'll remove it from your credit report. This is the strategy. And if they're really, they're really gung-ho about it, they really don't want to let it go, then you have small claims court, you have common law adjudication. And in common law, there's discovery, meaning they have to get the books from the financial institution. And so they will not allow that to happen. They will ask you to sell. So this is our approach. Most people are not willing to go to the lengths that we're willing to go to make sure that you get the results that you want. but you have to push. You have to be 100% convicted.
Let me stop right there.
That this is the truth.
And that's what I tell people when you're going through anything. You have to be willing to go through the fire if you're matter-factual. Not on no assumption or I think. You have to be matter-factual and know it. And when you come in the door, they're going to already know. This is what I'm telling people when you know the law.
And it is.
Let's see. Tyrone Williams, thanks, brother. Joe Anthony. He's a man, Brendan. Sent my letters out yesterday.
Good, dude. Tell me how it goes. Make sure y'all sending out certified mail. I want to see pictures of that stuff. I want to see pictures. I want to see documentation. I want to see how y'all are doing through your process. We got to get everybody involved. There's power in numbers. Okay, I just went.
You hear what he's saying? You hear what he's saying? Power in numbers.
They're using people's socials to issue out court orders and make money. So I went up to court and I filed some documents. You should have seen the look on their face. You know, I told the clerk when I needed her to file my hold harmless agreement and my legal notice of demand. She said, "Oh, I only have this like one scanner. I have it riveted. I have it riveted like this." So she was like, "Oh, I need to tear it apart so that I can scan it in my thing." I said, "If you tear that apart, you're actually violating trust law. Like that's $500,000 violation against the trust. It's also tampering with the mail because I did another trade."
And before he gets into that, you know, whenever he told her that, you should have saw the look on her face. She stopped immediately. So they know that these documents that you're showing them, they're not just paper.
That's right. If you look right here, I actually made myself the postmaster general of this particular document by canceling a stamp, by writing my name across and putting my thumbprint on here and putting my name and the date. I'm the postmaster general of this document, meaning if you tamper with the mail, if you tamper this particular piece of mail or this piece of parchment, then that's actually a felony. That's mail fraud. And the Uniform Postal Union is actually above the courts and even above the U.S. Post Office. And they can enforce these documents. So that's a little bit more advanced, but we wanted to get y'all on board about what it means to be the creditor. So I'm really glad we did this video.
I'm going to play one more. When I said, you ain't got to listen to me. Don't listen to me. Don't say, hey, you know what I mean? No, say, hey, man, it's this what it is on certain levels, but you got to be matter-factual. You must be matter-factual. Understand what I'm saying, Morris? You must be matter-factual in all your endeavors.
Here we go.
I got one more. Let me see. Let me see if I can find this other one for y'all. Let me see if I got another one for y'all. Not that one. I don't want to play that one because people be coming and stuff. Like the reason why I don't like to play a lot of Moors with things because they are coming to the stuff and only tell one part. And I say you're gonna get a lot of people in trouble just or how can I say it, revealing just a small part. I don't want to, you know what I mean? People get in trouble with a small part. So I want to show y'all more than just a small part. I want to show you more than a small part. I want you to have it all so you can be like, think about it and research the documents and everything and be like, wait a minute. That's what I'm doing. Let me see. I think this is another one. Let me see. And I'm going to show you, just like our prophet. Just like when I talked to one of my nobles, Malik Bey today, he was like, Sheik, you doing just what the prophet doing. Didn't the prophet say the European going to be here long enough to show you and stamp what you saying? I said, yeah. I said, come on. Okay, watch this.
I mean, I will admit.
Listen to this.
Unless you came late, you know who I am, but I'll introduce myself anyway. I'm Richard Alderman, and the class is going to be consumer law. obviously, in 50 minutes, I'm not going to be able to teach you everything you need to know
Just listen a
about
little bit.
consumer law. Hopefully, what I will do is convince you that it's something you should know more about than you probably know, teach you a little bit, and let you know where to get a lot more information. And why is all of this so important? The first reason is just if you don't know what the law is, if you don't know your rights, it's exactly the same as them not existing. I mean, for example, suppose I told you that everybody that came to hear this class got $100. Would you think that was a really good rule? But what it says is you have to ask for it before you walk into the room. Well, it's not as good a rule. You've got to know what the law is, and you've got to know it before a problem arises. You've got to know how to avoid problems. You've got to know when to push really hard to resolve things. You've got to know when to back off and be nice because you actually don't have any legal rights. And the only way you'll get what you want is for the person to just do something that they happen to think is right. And as I said earlier, this really is about money. Not knowing your legal rights will cost you money. And this is for a number of reasons. I mean, the most obvious is if you don't know your legal rights, you can get taken advantage of. If you don't know your legal rights, you may pay for something that you shouldn't have paid for. But the other reason is simply because of where you are as a consumer in the state of Texas. And that means you're a person that the law cares less and less and less about every year. And whereas a decade, 15, 20 years ago, I would stand here and tell you Texas had the best consumer protection laws in the country. Now I have to stand up here and say, the laws are okay. They're nowhere near as good as they are, and it's going to be a lot harder to find a lawyer to help you. You want to know the laws so you can avoid situations. You want to be much more assertive as a consumer because the laws aren't there to help you. For example, what purchase do you make that you think is the most important purchase you will make that you would want the most protection in? Your house. The Texas legislature changed the law about 15 years ago to where home builders have more protection in this state than any other entity. You can sue a lawyer, a doctor, a plumber, a carpenter, you name it, and have much greater rights and cover much better damages than against a home builder. And in something that to me is the most astonishing thing I have ever seen, last week, the legislature considered a bill to exempt real estate brokers and salespersons from all of our consumer protection laws. The entities that you all think I want the most protection for are often the entities you have the least protection from, and not knowing your rights will cost money. So what are we going to do? We're going to talk about some of those rights. But as I said, I just hope I convince you when you leave here, you think that was really interesting. I learned a little bit. I better go find out more, and we will tell you how to do that. What I want to start with is just a couple of sort of current event kind of things that are going on that might affect you as a consumer. And some of these computer scams. Who doesn't have a computer? Who doesn't?
This is all these scams, y'all.
We've ended registration unless you have a computer. So you all have a computer. If you have a computer, somebody's trying to scam you. Hopefully what you think is, I can't believe how many of these things I get. And you just delete them.
I want to fast forward a little bit, but he's gonna talk about all those internet scams. But
you buy something, they either lied to you, they misrepresented it, it doesn't work, they won't fix it. Federal law says if you bought it in Texas and it costs more than $50, you can not pay your credit card bill. Now you have to assert those rights within 2 months, within two billing cycles.
That's the point I wanted to make before I go to the next film. When I tell people about law, when I talk about jurisdiction nobles, you have to definitely know the difference from federal, local, state, different jurisdictions borders, you have to know that. And you cannot arbitrarily explain the law, Morris. No matter how nobody feel or how angry and snotty they nose get. You got to understand that, right? I'm gonna play one more. And I'm gonna get to the last, the meat and potatoes.
Law firm in Towson, Maryland. Today we're going to talk about the issue of credit accept.
Oops, hold on, my fault. My fault, y'all. Hold on.
Credit Acceptance Corporation and illegal finance charges. So I'm an attorney. I've been an attorney for about over 10 years, and part of my practice area is suing car dealerships, of course, and also finance companies. So what has been happening in an increasing manner that's crossing my desk and people are calling about over the past couple of years is the issue of dealers passing on finance charges to customers despite not being allowed to do so. So let me give you a typical scenario, and this is what you would need to look out for. So somebody comes into a dealership, or maybe not a dealership, maybe just a used car lot, often with credit acceptance, that is the case, and they want to buy a car. And what will happen is the dealer will make the decision or come to the determination that the only way that this customer is going to get financed is financing through credit acceptance, which is essentially almost, other than a buy here, pay here, you probably don't have that many options if you're going to be financing with credit acceptance. The credit is low, perhaps income is an issue, credit is an issue, but either way, it's going to be credit acceptance. So what often happens is credit acceptance has a whole portal, a proprietary software portal, and credit acceptance knows what cars the dealer has on its lot. And once the customer's personal information gets entered into the proprietary software, into the portal, credit acceptance will say, these are the vehicles this person can buy out of the inventory, these are the prices it's going to go for, and there's a huge amount of criteria and different screens that get clicked through to determine, is this person going to be able to get to buy? What are they going to get to buy? And the point of this video today is to talk about something called the discount fee, which is a very misleading term because it's actually a finance charge fee that credit acceptance is charging to the dealer in order to allow the dealer to process that transaction. I have had many cases so far where a customer comes in to buy a car and the finance manager or the salesperson they're working with will say, well, okay, the price of the car is X, but we are being charged a significant finance charge, or you're being charged a finance charge because your credit isn't great by credit acceptance, and we need to make our money, so we're going to pass that on to you. Now, in Maryland, there's a very limited number of finance charges that a dealer can pass on to a consumer, and the discount or bank fee charged by credit acceptance is not one of those things, not one of those charges that's
Listen, Maso.
And if a dealer does charge an illegal finance fee, not necessarily a credit acceptance fee, but an illegal fee, what happens is there's a whole host of issues that they're now setting themselves up to deal with, including being able to charge a significantly reduced amount of interest, perhaps no interest, attorney's fees, and other penalties that will cause them to pay for doing something illegal and passing on an illegal charge. But what usually happens is the finance manager will say, okay, we need to increase the price of your car by, say, $3,000. Sometimes it's $4,000. Sometimes they'll see $5,000. And I think sometimes the dealer, maybe the finance charge is $3,000, but the dealer just sees the opportunity to behave in a predatory manner upon a customer who probably has none or a very limited other number of options. And they'll just twist the knife, and instead of passing along the $3,000, they'll say, look, it's $5,500. We have to make money too. We have to put food on the table. So look, take it or leave it. This is the way it is. And then the customer is, out of options. They're expecting the same nonsense wherever they go. And they say, you know what? I just need a car so I can get to work, drive my kids around, whatever it may be. And they say, fine. And they sign. Now, as in many types of cases, just because you sign and you agree
What you
What's
say?
being told to you doesn't mean you're stuck with that contract. Certainly not. It's not something I would worry about in many scenarios. Just because you sign something doesn't mean you're going to be held to it. It all depends on what you relied upon and what you were thinking, what you were being represented, and the reliance you had on those representations that got you to sign. That's what's important in many situations. But the first situation is the finance manager passes on, or the dealer passes on the finance charge, and they increase the price, which of course increases in a higher balance you have to pay off. The interest is now being applied to that extra several $1,000s, which can add up significantly when you're talking about 10, 15, 20, 24%. It's a brutal interest rate. So that's the first way that the illegal finance charges can get passed on by a dealer. The second way that I see, now, credit acceptance.
All right. So I'm finna play this last little film. I hope y'all, I'm just trying to spark your brain for you to start asking some questions. When people be talking about civics and finances and getting hustled on certain things, we can talk about those. And now this last one I'm gonna show y'all. Let me see. I think I got one more for y'all.
It says we're starting. Here we go.
I got one more. When our prophet said the European ain't gonna leave you here, gonna be here long enough to show you things and reveal things the same way in academia. I don't be here.
I'm in the way.
All right, yeah, you right there. I can see you.
Oh.
You looking pretty. You saw y'all saw my empress?
Oh, I'm sorry. Dang.
Think about some sorry. Don't be sorry. She was trying to get up there and floss.
My bad.
She trying to get up there and floss, y'all. Like, look at me. She fine.
The clergy
Now watch this.
is a secret.
Now remember I showed y'all the the Treaty of Verona and how it's in I forget the what's his name? Behold the Pale Horse. I forget his name. How it's in his book in chapter 4, and then how I show y'all a lot of that stuff is in and how a lot of that stuff is in before Columbus, before the Mayflower. You know what I mean? And let me see, can I find this chapter before I play this film? Like, that's why when I tell more, I say, if you ain't read this, like, huh? Like, come on, man. Like, if you I don't mean to laugh though. When people be dissing this stuff, I mean it because it be laughable. And the reason why I laugh, because I know a lot of people don't have the aptitude to read like 500 pages of something and read it all. And my empress are right here to attest to you. She'd be like, 500 pages ain't nothing to me. Yeah, William Cooper. Yeah, William Cooper. And I show you, and I'll show you all this about the secret Treaty of Verona. And then when I break it down, I talk about the Whig Party. But this right here, let me see, can I find something for y'all? Like this right here. What'd you say, babe? This right here. And the only reason why I be laughing, because man, people that know me in real life be like, yeah, I don't know what y'all tripping on. Like, yeah, he teach us. Like, I like that's your fault. Let me see. I'm trying to find something for y'all.
Go check in.
Let me see. I want to find this topic. I want to find this phrase in here. I think I'm close. People talk about Nat Turner wasn't real and all that. I say, yeah, the fake stuff that they showing and they talking about. I'm gonna get to it. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, so listen to this. Okay, let me go back. So it's talking about the massacre. None of this was apparent or perhaps even relevant to the white citizens of Southampton, who were seized with a nameless dread when the first bodies were discovered on Monday morning. Not knowing who or what was being the killings, the citizens panicked, fleeing to the swamps or barricading themselves in public buildings. Some left the county, several left the state. Meanwhile, Nat Turner rode on, picking up slave recruits at each spot, moving closer and closer to Jerusalem. Then I'm gonna go down a little bit. A massacre followed. The editor of Richmond Whig, the editor of which Richmond Whig, the Whig Party, the Cotton Party, the Whigham Party. Understand what I'm saying? I synchronize all the science. Said that men were tortured to death, burned, maimed, and subjected to nameless atrocities. The overseers were called upon to point. The overseers were called upon to point out any slave whom they disturbed, and if any tried to escape, they were shot down. Any eyewitness, the Reverend G.W. Powell, told a correspondent that there were thousands of troops searching in every direction, and many Negroes were killed every day. The exact number will never be ascertained. Just like when I tell y'all of what was built over to make things in New York and all this stuff, man, monuments, thousands of Negroes, burials. The purpose of all this was not to find or punish members of Nat Turner's army. The purpose, frankly, acknowledged by many of the participants, was to terrorize any condition potential Nat Turners. Writing in the Richmond Constitutional Whig. The Richmond Constitutional Whig. The Whigham Party on September 3rd, 1831. John Hampdulin. Pleasance put it bluntly. Listen, let the fact not be doubted by those whom in most concerns that another such insurrection will be the signal for the extermination of the whole black population in the quarter of the state where it comes. Among those most immediately concerned was a slave who later told Thomas Wentworth Higginson, y'all know who that is, don't you? Research it. That at the time of the old prophet, the old prophet, when I tell y'all it's a prophet and a Messiah for every generation, understand what I'm saying, Morris? Come on, talk to me. This is liberation. Don't let nobody give you that fake narrative, Morris. And they ain't studied this. This is, come on, man. Like really? Like really? At the time of the old prophet, Nat Turner, colored folks was afraid to pray aloud. Remember the black Christian codes, Morris? For the whites threatened to punish him dreadfully. If the least noise was heard, the brightest and best was killed in that time. The brightest and best. Come on. Listen to this. The object of all the attention eluded capture for almost 2 months while he was at large. A panic seized large parts of Virginia, North Carolina, and Maryland. General W.H. Broadnax told the governor that the consternation, unfortunately, was not confined to the county where the danger existed, but extended over all immediately about it. Not a white family in many neighborhoods remained at home, and many went to other counties, and the rest assembled at different points in considerable numbers for mutual protection. I'm gonna go down. In North Carolina, too, people feared Nat Turner more than starvation. Did you just hear what I just said? In North Carolina, too, people feared Nat Turner more than starvation. The situation in Murfreesboro was desperate, according to the eyewitness who said, and I quote, "It was court week, and most of our men were 12 miles away in Winton. Fear was seen in every face, women pale and terror-stricken, children crying for protection, men fearful and full of foreboding, but determined to be ready for the worst. When a boy rode into the town and reported falsely that a hostile force was within 8 miles, Murfreesboro went up in hysteria. An old man kneeled over and died. 2 other white men died of heart failure in the state. The panic rolled over a large part of the South. A niece of George Washington said the hysteria was like a smothered volcano. We know not when or where the flame will burst forth, but we know that death in the most horrid form threatens us. Do you hear me? Do you hear what I'm saying? Come on, man. Some have died, others have become deranged from apprehension. Since the Southampton affair, when Turner was finally captured, guns were fired all over Southampton County. The women, thinking he had assembled another force, fled to the swamps, misinterpreting the cry, "Nat is caught," for Nat is coming. Nat Turner was taken to Jerusalem in chains. At his trial, he pleaded not guilty, saying that he did not feel guilty. Judge Jeremiah Cobb pronounced sentence. The judgment of the court is that you be taken hence to the jail from whence you came, thence to the place of execution on Friday next, between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Be hung by the neck until you are dead, dead, dead. And many the Lord have mercy upon your soul. On November 11th, the bold black man called the prophet dangled from the end of a rope in a town called Jerusalem. Author W.S. Drury, D-R-E-W-R-Y, said that Turner prophesied that it would grow dark and rain after his execution. It did actually rain, Drury wrote, and there was for some time a dry spell. This alarmed many whites as well as Negroes, but it was a misunderstanding of Turner and his prophecy. For the storm he saw came. It came in a generation of crises in which the issue of slavery almost severed the nation. That Turner's dark arm of vengeance did much to bring the crisis to a head. In this, Drury is correct, for as he observed, Nat Turner's insurrection was a landmark in history of slavery. It was the forerunner of the great slavery debates, which resulted in the abolition of slavery in the United States, and was indirectly most instrumental in bringing about this result. Its importance is truly conceived by the old Negroes of Southampton and vicinity, who reckon all time from Nat's fray or old Nat's war. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm not even gonna divulge in this beautiful piece of history, which the European agrees with me. And this close to 700 pages, I know this book from back and forth. I wrote about this when I was in the 6th grade. My mom will tell you. In the 6th grade, my mom gave me this book. All the stuff I got in this book is when I was a little kid. Like, literally. I showed y'all the picture on my page when behind my background, I had all them books. Even though I was a knucklehead, I was intelligent. I just didn't understand it until I got into my higher self. And everything became so simple. When we talk about masterminds, when you have these gifts, you just got to tap into it. And I show the youth how to tap into it. Come on, man. This right here, it'll check everybody's ego coming in the door when they say they're a scholar. So, I'm going to play this last film and we out of here. When I talk about the secret treaty of Verona. I just playing, y'all. But understand this, listen to the language. Listen to the language, please. And if you don't understand something, please ask questions, because you don't want nobody just to be talking and talking like, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Like it means something and it means nothing. So listen to the language, please. Because I played some different things and I showed some things. I talked about some things about the Treaty of Verona. So now I'm going to play a whole nother perspective and listen clearly. Okay? Because I'll give credit to certain people. Like I give credit to a lot of Moors that talk about things, but I be telling people they talking over your pay grade. You need somebody to explain it. So I'll give you an analogy. Say you in like when I was getting my undergrad in business management with a minor in marketing sales. Well, I show y'all my bachelor's degree from Clear University, right? We had to do capstones after every assignment. So a capstone is, so what do you get an A in a class? You got to get up there and explain what you're doing and put it in your own words. So if you say you got this formula and you got the answer, get in front of the class and explain it. The same way I had to do with my master's degree in Christian education. I'm not saying I'm better than nobody, but everything that I'm saying to y'all, I had to get up in front of professors and prove my point. Improve the research. I got all the research from their library, from the doctoral library. And then when scholars, professors was hitting me up and I got introduced to Cambridge, Oxford, to Harvard libraries and the Gnostic libraries. And then when I got introduced to the Philosophical Research Society as a scholar, it was over. Like it was over. The Philosophical Research Society is in California. I think what is it, Felix Road? I have to look at it, but I'll be going there this year, and I pray to Allah that they let me film. I'm gonna show y'all all them brothers that be lying to you because they gotta come. They love Manly P. Hall, and Manly P. Hall give all the credit to the prophet, and all them give credit to your brother. I'm telling you what I know. I ain't just started talking like this. Even when I was in ministry, dealing in his churches, I spoke just like this. Like when I tell people, when I show things, and I say, man, I'm transparent. Like when I tell people, I'm from a community, man. Like I'm real. These Moors be acting like when I used to go around and teach, like this is old. Like when I was in my younger days, when I was going through the churches teaching the truth. Like, man, that European gospel, that slave gospel is bullshit. Listen to my sermons talking about the true knowledge and wisdom is from God, aka Allah. The saving grace of the Holy Spirit, aka your higher self. Depending on our Savior. What? Depending on things that's bigger than ourselves. Strength through understanding. Come on, what is your faith built on? I mean, for real. Mountains, God, Allah calls us to climb. Just like John Henry Clark, just like when Dr. Khalid Muhammad was debating a European preacher, bringing out the scriptures. I did the same thing. So why you don't want your brother to do the same thing that those people that you say you love? And I did that in the flesh, in real time. In real time, man. Like, come on. In real time. When I talk about doing things with youth, I be telling the truth. Like, look, man. Like, I don't got nothing to hide. What they say? Wait, what that say? I don't got nothing to hide. I tell the truth. And if you research me, I taught that real stuff. And that's why I had to get my own. I've been in the house, so can't nobody say I can't be accepted. And then I went in the religious houses in the Catholic churches, in the Islam, and all that stuff. Come on, how can you be relevant if you ain't went through the fire? Like, come on, man, let's be really, really relevant. Let's be really, really real. It ain't like that, man. We gotta act like we gotta really respect our scholars and our prophets. We don't only have scholars and prophets that's gone. And who do you want your kid to aspire to? What do you telling your kid about academia? Are you telling your kid to be some radical and to be some bum? Or are you saying, no, this is what you can aspire to. You can do this and be proud of who you are, not being disrespectful. Wear your fez and do all that. Get in academia, but understand your purpose. When you get making that good salary, you got to give back to your community. Ain't no way you should be making $100,000, $400,000, $1 million a year, and you ain't going back to your community for the kids can see you and touch you and give to some. And if that ain't your mission, you should be giving to somebody that's doing that. And see, that's our mission. Come on, man. We talking about relevant. We talking about, come on, man, where most of our people at? Most of our family and everything in the churches. So you telling me a more ain't gonna come and resurrect the stuff that you say you love? Because I synchronize the teachings. Come on, y'all. We from the tribe of Judah, lineage of David by blood. Come on. Y'all know it. Ruth the Moabitess, Tamara, all that stuff. Didn't they say Yahshua was going to spring from the tribe of Judah? Come on, man. We talk all this stuff and try to diss one half of it, but take this other and say, well, this, and that's that. You can't do that. Come on, Moors. What do you want your kid to aspire to? Think about this stuff now. Really, really, really think about this stuff that we're talking about. Because we only 51 minutes in, and I want us to really think about that. Get some water. You know what I mean? Get some water. Just like if there was commercial, I got to promote mypdfbooks.com. This is a commercial. Mypdfbooks.com, where you can get all your Morris literature and much, much more. Instead of paying thousands of dollars for books, and you can download the book, send it to Office Max or Staples, and they can print it in binder for you for a fraction of the dollar that you would pay for some paper. mypdfbooks.com. That's books with the Z. Also, Morris Haberdasher, morrishaberdasher.com, where you can get all your Moorish American regalia and much, much more, fez, turbans, and etc. This educational lecture is sponsored by, once again, morrishaberdasher.com and mypdfbooks.com and the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple, BBT ScienceTemple.com. Hey man, I love what I do, man. I love to have fun. I love this, man. Like, no, for real, Morris, I love it. And the only reason why I act like this and I'm so belligerent with it, because, man, and I'm so manufactural with it, because when I'm on a college campus, man, they like it'd be like celebrity, like, and I'd be like, damn, only if my people understood, like really, man, and really understand education and really understand we can put our children in a whole different dispensation than what we thought when we teach them young. The European, everybody that I teach, they said, if the kids knew this, what you teaching, it'll show them so much pride and so much honor of self at a young age. It'll change the dynamics and the paradigm of everything. And I said, I know if it's changing your kid, just like when Malcolm, bro, El Hajj, when he went to Mecca, he said, if this Islam can change this type of melanated person, damn, this is the type of Islam I need to be under. Come on, man. Y'all know I'm keeping it 100. Think about this stuff. The gap is education. The gap is finances. The gap is understanding who you are at a young age. The mission got to be teaching our babies what we learned late, and we can teach them at an early age. That's the laws. The laws is with me. The laws are rocking with me. When I tell every Moor under the sound of my voice, I said, if you just gave 60% of the money you're going to give Uncle Sam out of your taxes, especially say if you stayed in California, instead of you giving 100% of what you owe Uncle Sam, if every Moor just gave 60%, we'll be good. We have a brick and mortar. Just imagine if 10,000 Moors under the sound of Allah's voice and under the sound of my auspices in the flesh was willing to give $40 a month. That's 10,000 Moors. That's 4.8 million in one calendar year. Am I correct or am I tripping? Somebody correct my math before I play this film. Can somebody check my math, please? Or I might be wrong. And then we be counting other organization pockets. I said, we say we love this and we love what we're doing. I give value. What organization give you something every time you give a donation? That'll build your library. That'll show you how to build your own business. That'll show you how to build business credit and operate separate from your business. And your own business can have its own so-called credit rating. And everything that you do won't be in your personal name. It'll be in your business name. Huh? So other organizations can do it, small business, but you can't do it. And you got a business and everything in your personal name. So you say you whatever cold cut. Say you cold cut whatever, and you dropping off cold cuts, and you dropping off cold cuts in your personal vehicle, and your vehicle ain't in Cold Cuts USA. Your vehicle should be in Cold Cuts USA. Your accounts, everything you should be paying with should be in Cold Cuts USA. Cold Cuts USA, you should be able to look Cold Cuts USA on Duns and Bradstreet, and Cold Cuts USA have a fucking own rating of its own. Huh? Talk to me. Come on, somebody talk to me, y'all. Please. Please talk to me. Somebody tell me I'm not making sense before we play this film. Am I making any sense? And I haven't even got super technical with the laws. I haven't even really got technical if I was teaching you in class and you were paying money and I say, I'm gonna teach you something that it'll take them professors 3 months, and you would come out of that class in 3 months and won't know nothing. It only take me 2 weeks. And you would pay them $3,000 for one class and come out there dumber than what you did going in. I guarantee you. You can take a business class with at a college university and take my business course and show you how to set up a business. And I teach you the strategy. I can drag it on, but I can teach you it all in 2 weeks if you attentive, and it'll take you 3 months. And you will come out of there like, how the hell could he teach this in 2 damn weeks? And it took 3 months, and you ain't teaching me this in 3 months. Huh? And my members will tell you. I'm telling you what I know. I get paid for this. And I do this stuff for donations. And I can give you a tax-exempt receipt. But see, Moors, we want illegal stuff. Like right now, these Moors talk about all this, they tax-exempt, but they doing fake taxes. They trying to do all this fraud stuff and try to get something for nothing. See? Right, Moors? Come on. So that's where I'm at with that. So I just wanted to freestyle a little bit and get y'all ready for this last film. It's only about 10 minutes. Listen to what they're saying. Any questions before I start? If not, let's get with it. Let's get with it. Listen clearly. Just listen. From no prejudice.
Secret Treaty of Verona. The Secret Treaty of Verona is extract from the 1916 Congressional Record, Senate. Secret Treaty of Verona, 1822, American Diplomatic Code, 1778 to 1884, Volume 2, Elliott, page 179. The undersigned specially authorized to make some additions to the Treaty of the Holy Alliance after having exchanged their respective credentials have agreed as follows. Article 1, the high contracting powers, being convinced that the system of representative government is equally as incompatible with the monarchical principles as the maxim of sovereignty of the people with the divine right, engage mutually in the most solemn manner to use all that their efforts to put an end to the system of representative governments in whatever county it may exist in Europe, and to prevent it being introduced in those counties where it is not yet known. So the Secret Treaty of Verona sounds like something designed to keep us away from the counties. The counties were set up by our ancestors. So when we are filing our documents and we were doing anything lawfully, correcting our appellation, claiming our birthright, the county is where we go to. So these clergymen are trying to keep us all away from the counties, then what are they really there for? And according to Taj was explaining, they also have 501c3 skull and bones contracts, which is a kickback contract with the Internal Revenue Service.
Now watch this. Now let me correct this. Now watch this. See, I like all science, and like I said, I'm never gonna come from no prejudice. I'm always gonna illuminate everything as a must. Understand what I'm saying, Morris, because a lot of Moors won't tell you the truth of everything. They just try to say 501c3 this is that, and then turn around and say, well, how are you operating all this, and accept things under a certain basis. I say, nobles, this is what you got to understand about living in the flesh and about operating and doing things for your community. It's a bigger picture than that, all that, this white man, this stuff and all this stuff. It's bigger than that. Because if you putting some into something, and everybody else extracting things from it, and the people that's putting in these things, and you can't extract nothing in your community and make things happen, and all you want to talk about is some white man, some 501c3, I think I really have to back off from people. I really do. Because on a global stage, like, what is your mission? To operate. When you doing things and when you trying to pull people together, like, what is your mission? Because these people don't be telling you all truth. They'll tell you a little bit. That's what I'm telling you.
They get paid to keep the secret from us heirs. Article 2, as it cannot be doubted that the liberty of the press is the most powerful means used by the pretended supporters of the rights nations to the detriment of those of princes, the high contracting parties promise reciprocally to adopt all proper measures to suppress it, not only in their own states, but also in the rest of Europe.
So watch me correct this teaching real fast, y'all. When you get Moors, Negroes, well, it must be more talking about some 501c3 nonprofit, this and taxes and stuff. And I say, okay, when you work and you a business, are you a for-profit or a nonprofit? You a for-profit. So which one better or which one worse? I just wait. I wait. That's why I said people clearly don't know how the prophet set the temple up. They clearly don't know. They clearly don't know. They clearly don't know how a lot of universities said. They clearly don't know. So I ask a person, when you working, are you a nonprofit or are you for profit? When you a individual and you working a job, are you a for profit or a nonprofit? Which one are you? Which one are you? Talk to me now. I'm gonna act. Come on, before I finish the film, which one are you? Please, Morris, answer the question. When people be like, listen, get all excited when somebody be talking. Okay, so when you working and you doing all this and you got all these businesses, are you a for-profit or a non-for-profit? Company, organization, or whatever. Huh? Watch how I drop some things down, some science down. Watch. Which one are y'all? Talk to me before I go on. We in class. I'm waiting because we teaching. We teaching today because people be getting more caught up. And I say, you don't come to me with that, and you out here filing taxes trying to get that little return. So I wait. I wait and be like, I deal with literal stuff. Do you have a company? Yep, you doing all this. Okay, so are you a for-profit company or are you a non-profit company? Which one? Which one? Because more be acting like to be doing business legally, they ain't filed no type of paperwork. And they don't have no understanding on the 1099. When I'm telling y'all, I'll be like, man, y'all have no idea. Come on. Am I saying something stupid or am I kicking the ballistics? And am I saying things that a lot of Moors don't understand? I'm still waiting for somebody to answer my question. That's what I'll be waiting for. Forget the. I think I know. Can somebody answer my question real fast before we finish the film, please? Because when we in the court of law, and when you in the court of law, you want to be matter factual, and you don't want no rebuttal. You want to rest your case. So I'm asking the 5 people that's on here. I said, if you working, no, I don't care if you got your own company, whatever the hell you doing. Are you a for-profit or a non-profit? Company, organization, whatever the hell. Which one are you? I'm waiting. If you got a basic job, are you a for-profit or a non-profit? Job man or job woman? Which one? I'm waiting. Somebody just answer something, please. Somebody give me something. It's cold out here. Gotta get some more water. So nobody gonna answer for? Okay. I'm waiting. I want to see if anybody say something. It's not a such thing as a dumb answer if you thought about it. Thank you, Solomon. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So when all these more be talking this white man 501c3, I said, dude, you got 501c3 all the way to 50c10. Am I lying or am I telling you the truth? Right or wrong? Right or wrong? And just like our prophet said, don't you want to understand the law and know how to operate in the parameters of the law? Well, you can be in everything, but come on, come on, y'all, walk with me. When people be doing things and not understanding what I'm saying, when I say I'm an organization that's tax exempt for the federal government, legally and lawfully, don't you want to? Huh? I'll wait. But then you agree to them to take all this, and I said, I'm tax exempt from that. Huh? You have a problem with that? So you agree as a personal person to say, I'm gonna give Uncle Sam this, and I say, I ain't. I'm tax exempt from that. We do work in the community. You have the right to do what I'm doing legally and lawfully. If you don't organize yourself, then we'll take it from you. Yes, so am I saying something? What? Come on, y'all. Really? Come on. That's what I be saying. Really? That's what I be saying. Like, really? We gonna play this dumb game? Like, really? Like, come on. Will you understand what I'm saying? So here it is, a person to work willingly and willingly let the powers that be, and you are for profit company because you trade hours for dollars. You giving Uncle Sam something, but then you have a problem with an organization that's doing good for the community, that's doing good, that can take charitable contributions, that can say we can give you this tax exempt receipt. Instead of you giving Uncle Sam this, you can help what you say you love, and you got a problem with that. And the first thing you'll go with somebody saying, and all these 501c3s this. I said, see, that's our problem. We're not telling both sides of the pendulum. And then, okay, say you're dealing with somebody and you really like what they saying, and you say, okay, man, well, I got all these professional players, man, that want to donate to what you're doing, but they just want a tax exempt receipt. You gonna talk that 501c3 shit, or are you gonna hurry up and do what you can do for them? For not only you can support them brothers can support you if that's the contingency of them helping you, and you don't want it to be no stipulations with your own people that may have that bag that can help the goal, the mission. Just like Belafonte was telling them brothers back then and them athletes, you don't got to risk your job and all that to support this. Just support with the finances. Keep playing football, keep playing baseball, keep rapping your ass off, keep out there dancing for everybody. But if you support the mission with your finances and get a tax and receipt. Stop going to the strip club and just giving the money their way. Because I tell you the scam. Do you think them rich brothers going to the strip club just giving 10, 20 bands away? They already going talking to the club owner, getting a tax and receipt. That's a tax write-off. They donate. That's charity. I'm telling you what I know. And everybody will be like, yep, she telling you the truth. I know. That's how stupid we are. I'm telling you what I know. It's all a scam. And if brothers care, I don't count nobody back. I say, what we doing with our own? We can donate to this organization. I mean, come on. All it takes is 10,000 more. Ain't 10,000 more giving $40 a month? It's 4.8 million. Am I right on that math, y'all? Before I play this film, am I finished? Am I right on that math? 10,000 more is giving $40 a month. Is that 10,000? Is that 4.8 million in 1 year? Yes or no? I don't know. I thought it was when I was doing my math, when I was doing some numbers, because I did with a lot of people, and it was like, Sheik, you close, and that's what I be telling people about numbers and dollars. It don't take long. It don't take long to be successful. Like here it is. We got mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z. And just imagine, say in a couple hours, say 100,000 people buy a book for $7. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, dude, like I talk real stuff. So let's finish this film and I'm out of here, man. My Empress like, come upstairs. Okay. I'm about to come upstairs.
So the media, it's to suppress all of the media. Article 3, convinced that the principles of religion contribute most powerful to keep nations in a state of passive obedience, which they owe to their princes. The high contracting parties declare it to be their intention to sustain in their respective states those measures which clergy may adopt, with the aim of ameliorating their own interest, intimately connected with the preservation of the authority of the princes and the contracting powers, join in offering their thanks to the Pope for what he has already done for them and solicit his constant cooperation in their views of submitting to the nations. Hence, blind faith. When we talk about our Jesusness and our spirituality and how we believe this and we believe that, and because we do it this way, because we do it, it's just going to work because God is for all of that passive obedience, blind faith. All of us have been trained to do that. Article 4, the situation of Spain and Portugal unite unhappily. All the circumstances in which this treaty has particular reference. The contracting parties in confiding into France the care of putting an end to them, engaged to assist her in the matter which made the least compromise, SIC, parentheses, them with their own people and the people of France by means of subsidy on the part of the empires of what looks like 20 million of francs every year from the date of the signature of this treaty to the end of the war. We've always been in a war. They said it started in Spain when they ousted us in the 1400s or what have you, and we're still at war. It's a civil war right now. It's a commercial war, and it's all designed to steal the lands from the heirs and to keep the heirs sleeping, to keep them dumbed down in these fake belief systems, in these ideologies and blind faith. Article 5, in order to establish in the peninsula, in the order of things that which existed before the revolution of Cadiz, and to ensure the entire execution of the articles of the present treaty, High contracting parties give to each other the reciprocal assurance that as long as their views are not fulfilled, rejecting all other ideas of utility or other measure to be taken, they will address themselves with the shortest possible delay to all the authorities existing in their states and to all their agents in foreign countries, with the view to establish connections tending toward the accomplishment of the objectives proposed by this treaty. Hence, the separation of state and church never, ever existed. It was always one. It's run by the Pope and the archbishops, clergymen, and the ministers. They run the show. And so what their program is to keep you off your square. So you ever notice when you go to these churches, they'll pick a scripture, they'll pick like one.
Now, let me stop right there. How can I say that when I and I got to turn the camera back on me? And I don't know if my mom is on here in my family. The reason why I say that, because I was in the belly of the beast. I was in there. I saw all the bullshit. I was in there like, this is lies. When I'm going against my own people. I'm going against there when them preachers up there talking all that slave stuff. I said, I don't know what scriptures they reading. I wish my mom was on here. If my Ember's on here, she'd tell you. When I told her when I moved from Flint, Michigan, I said, I got to get the hell out of here. Because I said, I'm not finna be a part of no lies. And if I'm gonna be a part of the lies for money, I'm part of the problem. Like, you the next one. I said, the next one for what? You can't compromise me for my people. I'm successful. I can do that off of pennies. $1 from 1 million people is $1 million. Understand what I'm saying? I'm electric. I can make a bag. Understand what I'm saying? And if you're a prophet, you can go around other people and be a prophet. Understand that. If you truthful, if you teaching God and man and God and woman, if you a Buddha, if you a sheik, come on now. Let's proceed.
Little tiny section of that chapter, and they'll take 3 hours and dissect that one little section, and at the end of the day you have no clue what the scripture is really pertaining to, as the Bible is it's a law book, it's an astrology book, and it basically tells us what's about to happen. And if you can add up, if you're gifted in the way that we were, the IRS forms and the Bible work hand in hand, and you'll be able to find the scriptures that correlate with a lot of the IRS.
Now watch this. Didn't we do that already? If any of my members on here, when I showed y'all in More Science how law governs all events, how I broke the Quran down and showed you all levels of law, civil law, criminal law. Didn't we do all that already? So if I did in the Bible, it ain't nothing to do it. I mean, in the Quran, ain't nothing to do with it in the Bible, right? If I did it in our Moore's Quran, which is a compilation of other books, correct? This is no slander. These is facts. These should be, people, every Moore should be like, check. I did lecture how I showed y'all law governs all events. If any of my members on here, am I correct? Correct? And I used the Quran to explain all law. Correct? Correct? Am I saying something? Somebody talk to me before I finish. Right? I mean, come on now. Come on. And we got the documents to prove what I'm saying. I ain't just blowing smoke out nobody's ass. I'm like, listen, here go to science. What if law governs all events and you say it's the science? Where are the documents? We have them. Right, nobles? Right, nobles? Talk to me, y'all. Talk to me, Moors. Talk to me. Somebody talk to me. I'm here too. Right? Like when a lot of people say things and they say, well, we can do this, we can do that. Okay, well, prove it. I don't have to talk about it. We already done it. Done it multiple times. Law governs all events. How do law governs all events compared to the biblical scriptures in the Quran? And the Quran goes, you can pull the same thing out of the Quran in the biblical scriptures. Am I talking crazy or am I talking real shit? Excuse my candor. before I proceed? Somebody talk to me, man. Because if we don't understand that, then who you around? That's why I said a lot of people, sheiks, are limited. Law governs all events. That's why I say people are acting unlawfully. Wow. Wow. Come on, Morris. Come on.
Hence, the Spanish Inquisition is what it was termed originally. And you've got to do the 1099 OIDs. I already discussed that in other videos. You can go back and watch those videos for more details there. Article 6, this treaty shall be renewed with such
but look how fast they talk over. I'm sorry. I gotta correct, because look how fast they talk in the 1099 and fast. I get all that what you saying. I get all that what you saying. Believe me. Believe me. But if you say you follow the teaching of the prophet and everything, what's the 1099 in our ID? Come on, y'all. And you see, I shut this shit down. Come on, man. I just told y'all the 10 ain't no motherfucking trust fund at the end of no rainbow. So what we really dissing, and all these people talk about they love the prophet. What they talking about? They confused and they taking things and be like, okay, yes, I understand that aspect, but what about this aspect? Come on. So are you telling me? Come on now, let's deal with it, because I get all the way in it. So you tell him if you saying pertaining to what they saying and what this and the 1099 is some clergy shit, are you saying the prophet put people back in slavery? Huh? Well, how he set the temple up? Yes or no? Talk to me. Hey, come on, man. Let's deal with it. Let's deal with it and watch these Negroes backtrack. Huh? Because see, I don't think people really be listening to what they be saying. Like, okay, well, what you trying to prove? So is it relevant to this? And what about this and this, how this stuff is structured? What you talking about? And so when they get you caught across some 1010, some 1099, and some trust at the end of the rainbow. Huh? Who confusing who? And then they say you're gonna need Moors from the temple. Then they say when it come down, you're gonna need the temple. You're gonna need sheiks from the temple that's gonna be able to confer degrees. Huh? So if you telling people this and all that, so that means all that shit you saying and all that stuff come from other people ain't no good. And the sheiks that's teaching the truth, like myself and others that's through the temple, you're gonna need them, huh? Talk to me, man. Cause I bring up what they be saying. All of them, all they understudies, everything. See, you can't take back what you put on video. You can try to fool people, but I play the shit back. Boo, what you say? What? What? How the temple set up? What? How? Yeah. How? Yep. How people came to the state for religious rights? You gonna say this and all this about some tits and white? And then all of a sudden, at the end of the day, when it come down to the come down, you gonna need prophets like myself and others that's have real shit. That's tribal leaders. Set up just like the temple. Talk to me, y'all. Am I saying something crazy? You see, and can't nobody explain. I says, oh, so is the temple set up under some European, or is the temple set up the same way that the goddamn Vatican set up? The same way I'm set up. And who shit trump the Vatican? The Vaticans are ours, or the temples. Talk to me, man. I'll wait. Man, motherfuckers should be like, boo, boo. That's that power. See? We'll talk all that stuff and do all this. I'm like, so what you saying? How the temple set up? What you saying, Sheik? You know what I'm saying. We gonna go all the way there. All the way there. Exactly. Let's proceed. I ain't on nobody's side.
Circumstances may give occasion for either at a new Congress or at the court of one of the contracting parties as soon as the war with Spain shall be terminated. Article 7, the present treaty shall be ratified and the ratifications exchanged at Paris within the space of 6 months. So anyways, it goes on here. If there's more, I'm going to see if I think that's pretty much it here. Well, social engineering and the church with regards to these codes. You know, they have these conferences where they come up with new terms.
Okay, now but watch this, y'all. You know I gotta narrate social engineering. What type of social engineering? What type? Y'all got the research that they charge for $4,000. Tavistock Institution of Human Engineering by John Coleman. All this shit is old. Thank you, Noble Barclay. See? Come on, Noble Barclay. Come on, man. That's why I be laughing. I said, y'all, these people crazy. They talk about they love the problem. I said, do you know how the temple is set up and how things structured or what you mean? All that stuff. We'll listen to people. Like I said, the United States ain't never held honorable to no damn treaty. So that's number one. But then when we say this and we talk about this and that and the other, and then I say, well, how the temple set up? How the prophet did all this stuff legally and lawfully in the law to show you what you can do in the law, a principality, a school, a district, a church or organization with your own trustees. And then Moors be missing the law. Like they gonna arbitrarily explain it. I said, see, I don't want to deal with no clowns. Think about this, Moors, right? Come on now. Think about this. But it's like what's good for the goose is good for the gander. But everybody else going to use the law to do their thing and rock over. But you going to say you so above the law that you ain't going to operate in the law that protects you, that you have the right in. You just going to operate as some goofy shit. I don't know. I know. Shit. I know. Come on. I'm like, this stuff's too simple. This is elementary. The only time they come to people like that, would they think they don't know? They're not going to come to me with that trash. None of that trash. Nobody going to come to me with that trash. What they going to do is get mad and scoot their ass away because that's all they going to do because I'm going to say, prove it. Anything you talk about, prove it. Don't get mad at me. You saying all this, you lying. Well, the 501 to this, and that and other. Moors be forging documents. I told y'all, Moore done showed me some stuff, and I don't be all in it. And I said, don't show me this, because then I gotta speak the truth. And when the empress says she, how somebody gonna stamp a copywritten, a preface copywritten by somebody that call himself a sheik? Oh, there's Zodiac documents. She say sheik. That document that you showed on your Instagram and all that stuff, she say his stamp ain't on that. I say, because the nigga put it on there. Now, I don't give a shit what nobody say. Now, be mad if you want to. Hell, people be thinking people stupid. They be doing the same thing that the European did, the same thing that Joseph Smith did with the Mormon, plagiarized that shit from the view of the Hebrews. The same way goddamn Alex Haley plagiarized the goddamn African from a European called Harold Colander. The same way, no disrespect again, because I love Farrakhan. I love everybody that did right. But he know that damn Willie Lynch is propaganda. We destroyed that in academia. It ain't no such thing as no Willie Lynch letter. I don't give a shit how many rappers rapped about that bullshit. You a clown too. If we're going to deal with the facts and the law, I take that to court and the European be like, well, okay, well, why are you mad at him for? Why are you mad at this man for telling the truth? You only hear mad. What you saying is not truthful. And the motherfucker be mad and want to defend a lie. That's why I be saying, how you going to defend a lie in court? They like, sir, your whole defense is a lie. When them lying ass sheiks talk about some 1010 number in some trust, and I destroyed that already when I showed you it's free information. That ain't nothing but a goddamn affidavit, and it's public information at the CCRD, correct? Checked. So why you gonna be mad? Think about what I'm saying to y'all, man. Somebody talk to me. Come at me. Talk to me, man, with some real science, and talk about, oh, I love know what y'all in this, and you're gonna need more there from the temple, and then you're gonna talk all this stuff, how the temple set up. I wish I had my ID cards here with our 1099 number on it. What the fuck you think the 1099 is? And you gonna, like, it's some magical Moore code, Moore's fucking code? It's some damn Batman code? That what you think? Huh? Is that what Moors really think? Like, come on now. The prophet looking at you just like I'm looking at you. Serious as hell. Look at the prophet behind me looking at you like, yeah, that man telling the truth. I wish I had my damn, how the temple was set up right here with me. And when I go over the whole book, but I've been talking long enough. I'm waiting for somebody to say something stupid. You see? And then they'll give all the credit to our prophet Noble Drawley, all the credit to the Mordecai Temple, all this stuff, and then they'll throw fake ass arrows at you. You understand? They'll pat you on your back and then talk shit about you. And that's why I said I don't accept that shit. I know when people be trying to come at you with that slick shit, them goofy ass Negroes, them nappy head jungle bunnies. No disrespect. I know when sneak dissing come. I see it. I know when it comes. Somebody talk to me, man. Oh, I love Noble Draw. You gonna need the temples and all this, but then throw that fake shit in there. How do you think the temple is set up? And tell them to show you their ID cards from the temple. From the temple. Not that shit that it is created from the temple. Because I told y'all when you with my ID don't nothing. It's the ID you get is you a member of a school and your tribal ID. That's what you claiming who you are on your school and temple ID, which is your right under a tribal leader, under the religious laws. Come on, man. Research the religious laws of the indigenous people. Research it. And then when I say you want to be a principality, a school, a district, the same thing that the temple is, the same thing I am. You want to be under certain laws. You want to be. Talk to me now. Talk to me, because if it ain't, what's all this about? If not, what's all this about? Come on, Millers. Let's deal with it real so we can get on the right path and move forward and do some real shit. Excuse my candor. If you don't have how the temple set up and you don't know, man, you can get the document from me, the booklet. $5, I'll give it to you. And you can sit down, you can read it in the comfortability of your home. I don't know if I got it on mypdfbooks.com. I don't know if it's on there, but you can get it, you can read it. And when you read it, you will relax. I promise you, you will be like, man, why am I listening to all these goofballs? Like, what? Like, this is free information. Yes. Absolutely, Morris. You know Moors ain't studied and read. No one can nationalize you. Nobody you met on the internet with some dirty ass fez on looking goofy as hell talk about sending you their information and they finna nationalize you. That is the dumbest shit ever. Where? In what army? In what district? In where? Where you changed from? Because you got some ID from somebody that you don't know? You that stupid and gullible? You want a piece of ID? I tell Moors, if you want something that bad, go to Amazon. Order you an ID card machine. You ain't even got to go to Amazon. You can just make that shit on the internet. The service, like the same service we use to make our membership cards. That's why I'm telling you, to make a membership card, it got to be members. It got to be real. So when they look it up, they can be like, oh, I can look up this is a real body. Not no poof, the magic dragon shit. Come on. Any questions, man? I'm out. About to go smash. Any questions? I'll open it up for a couple minutes before I cut off. I said I'll never leave people without a couple questions. I hope it's relevant to what we're doing. Please. Any questions? Tell me they get mad when I talk like this, but I don't care. I'm not here for likes. I ain't here to be nobody's friend. I ain't here to pacify. I ain't here to dumb nothing down. I'm here to tell it exactly how it is, and the truth will make you free. 1 Thessalonians 5:21. Prove all things and hold fast to what is good. Listen, I be telling y'all, everybody be trying to do riddles. Watch this. When they say it's 99 names of Allah. Listen, 99 names of Allah. It's 100 names of Allah, right? Because Allah is one. No disrespect to no one. See, and what I'm saying is when they say 99 names of Allah, yes. That's right, Noble. That's right. Yeah, we got 99 names of Allah, but ain't Allah one of the names? Yes or no? So when people be like, oh, the other name is too holy, that all that riddle shit and all that Jedi mind trick goofy shit, stop playing. Stop. No, yeah, we know 99 names of Allah and Allah is one. That's the first one. Like, stop. So we got to get out of all that mystery shit, all that mystic shit. and just deal with what it is. Any questions before I get out of here, man? Because I don't want to leave people without them expressing themselves or saying something that's meaningful. I'm not going to accept any slander, and I don't accept no trash because I wouldn't do that to you. So if we don't have any questions, I think that's it. So like I said, I got 20 seconds left and I'm out of here. So peace to everybody. I hope everybody having an amazing night. I hope everyone learned something. Gratitude for those that put it on their heart to give a donation. I thank you. And like I said, Morris, if you gave a donation and I don't have your hookup, when you donate, please put your email on there so I can email you a book. Peace and love.